As I said yesterday, I'm here to talk about the race in Chicago from yesterday. More specifically, what happened at the end of the race. So, Kyle Busch didn't really have a good car all day. He started screaming plowing about 30 times at some point of the race. Kyle Larson's pretty good all day. Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Eric Almirola, the Stewart-Haas cars dominated the day. But at the end, it was between Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson. Larson had closed down the lead from, I think, 3 seconds. He had passed Harvick for second, and he was chasing down Busch. Busch got caught in some lap traffic, and next thing you know, Larson's less than a second behind. And with 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank, Larson dove into turn 1. He was trying to do a slide job on Kyle Busch, as Dale Jr. yelled multiple times, but he didn't make it. He slammed Kyle Busch into the wall, and he was able to clear Kyle Busch going into turns 3 and 4, but Kyle Busch retaliated and dove into 3 and 4 and hit the back of Larson's car, and Larson spun and Kyle Busch went and won the race. Larson finished second. So the question is, was it clean or was it dirty? And should I be mad? Should I not be mad? What's my opinion on it? My opinion is it's racing. All these Kyle Busch haters are getting all pissed off because it was Kyle Busch that did that. If that was someone like Martin Truex Jr. who finished 4th, if Martin Truex Jr. did that, no one would care. Everyone would be like, okay, that was a good race. But because Kyle Busch did it and everyone hates Kyle Busch, everyone's bashing him for it. But it's racing. It's what we need, what the sport needs, because it was entertaining. It was really fun to watch. And if they want to get some growth back in the sport and the ratings, they're going to need stuff like that to happen. So I liked it. The last 20 laps were probably some of the best laps I've seen, just seeing Larson close in on Busch using the high line. 5 to go, Larson hits the wall. I was like, dang it, it's over. But Larson came back, used the lap traffic to his advantage, and was able to challenge Kyle Busch for the win. And so, in all this, Kyle Busch was in the right, yes, to dump Kyle Larson because of what happened off of turn 2. Kyle Larson slammed Kyle Busch into the wall. So he obviously saw, okay, all bets are off. Let's go for it. Let's go for the win. Everyone's going for the win here. So he dove into 3 and 4. He's like, I'm going for the win. 5 playoff points are very valuable in the point system, in the playoff system. So he went for it. He has 30 now. So it's pretty big. 5 playoff points is a big deal, and Kyle Larson doesn't have a win yet. So I think he would have done the same if Busch slammed him into the wall. I think Larson would have dove into 3 and 4. And yeah, so I personally think that it was a clean move. Well, not clean necessarily, but it was a racing move that happened, and that you can't be mad at Kyle Busch. Who I am mad at is his brother Kurt. Kurt was complaining and crying that Kevin Harvick raced him for the stage win. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Those stage points, as I said, are valuable. Kevin Harvick does have a lot of them, yes, but every point counts. As we saw last year, Kyle Larson had the 3rd most playoff points, and he got eliminated because he had issues. You could have issues. You never know what's going to happen, so you got to get those playoff points. So Harvick was on his outside, sucked the air off him, and he almost spun, but he saved it. Kurt Busch was ranting on the radio about he would never expect that from a teammate. I think it's a personal issue. I think Kurt Busch just doesn't like Kevin Harvick, because if you go back to Talladega, the fall race of 2016, something happened during that race that pissed off Kurt Busch, and they ended up having they actually had a physical confrontation. Harvick went up to him and punched him after the race, in the car, not in the face or anything, but he punched him, and Kurt Busch was yelling at him. They were yelling at each other. So you don't expect that from teammates, but it happened. So I really just don't think they like each other, but they're teammates, so they're going to be forced to like each other. But Kurt Busch was very immature right there. And the best part of the race was after the race when Kyle Larson, he could have easily been pissed off about it, been like, I hate Kyle Busch, blah, blah, blah. But he respected it, and I've had a lot of respect for Kyle Larson. And I've gained a lot of respect after this race, just due to the fact after the race how cool he was about it, and how he said, well, that's racing. I would that's just going for the win there. And so I thought that was cool. And then after the race, he went and congratulated Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch was like, good job, both of them. And when Kyle Busch did the thing, I thought that was pretty funny, but that's just me. But yeah, there's probably something else I wanted to say. If I remember it, I'll say it. Just going to go through the finishing order here. Kyle Busch first, Kyle Larson second, Kevin Harvick finished third, Martin Truex fourth, Clinton Boyer, after having 3 penalties, finished fifth, Eric Jones sixth, Denny Hamlin seventh, Joey Logano eighth, Brad Keselowski ninth, and to round out the top 10 is Alex Bowman. Suarez finished 11th, Jamie McMurray 12th, 13th pole sitter Paul Menard, 14th Jimmy Johnson, 15th Ryan Newman, 16th Stenhouse, 17th Kurt Busch, 18th Blaney, 19th Chase Elliott, 20th William Byron, 21st Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, AJ Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, who had issues with loose wheels, finished 25th after winning stage 1. Trevor Bayne, Casey Kane, Ty Dillon, Matt DiBenedetto, Ross Chastain, Greg Gaulding, Reed Sorensen, Kyle Weatherman, Corey LaJoie, BJ McLeod, Landon Castle, Austin Dillon, David Reagan, and Timmy Hill finished 39th. It's all right, Timmy. You'll get there someday. But there is a question I had. I just now remember what I was saying. But what if Kyle Larson does Kyle Busch? Because we saw last year at Las Vegas that Kyle Busch gets pretty pissed off. Brad Keselowski was a slow car. He was having issues when he was in second. He was going really slow. Kyle Busch, Logano set him as a pick, so Kyle Busch swerved down, hit Logano. So going into the 3 and 4, Logano dove in, barely tapped Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch spun without even talking about it. He walks up and tries to punch Joey Logano in the face. So I can understand that. That was basically the same situation, just not for a win. It was for position. So, I mean, I guess you could make the argument there that was for position, not a win. It's not as valuable. But, I mean, you got to look at it like, so if Kyle Busch was in that situation, what would he have done? But that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all that. And, yeah, so got a video tomorrow, most likely about the NBA free agency. LeBron is in LA. Man, I can't believe it.